Good evening. Welcome to Channel 54 News Tonight. I'm Leo James. Stories making news this evening. Well, it's time once again for the annual Wildflower Trails Festival. Special Olympics were held recently here in Mount Pleasant. One person that was injured in a car-truck accident, and some local students at P. Wallace are also honored. We'll have all those stories and more as Channel 54 News continues.
You can win big for free at the Cash Value Lottery at Top Fast Food, 304 Broadnax in Dangerfield. It's simple. Come into the store. Ask for a free lottery ticket. Tear the small part off and put it in our drawing box. You keep the big part. No purchase necessary, no registration. 20 winners drawn every Friday. You have until the following Monday to claim your prize if your number is drawn. All numbers drawn go into the big super jackpot drawing held the last Friday of each month. All prizes awarded in cash value stamps, which are redeemable at Top Fast Food, 304 Broadnax in Dangerfield. Due to the depressed economy of the Dangerfield, Lone Star, and Hughes Springs area, Wildwood Furniture must raise cash and make room for incoming merchandise. 4-piece bedroom suite, including double dresser, mirror, 4-drawer chest, and full-size headboard, only $197. 6-piece solid oak bedroom, reduced to $19.50. 4-drawer chest, only $44. Floor lamps, only $19.95. Too much to mention. Hurry, sale ends April 8th at Wildwood Furniture, Jones Shopping Center in Dangerfield.
Well, the Mount Pleasant Youth Baseball Association, in cooperation with the Mount Pleasant Independent School District, has rescheduled the ball games to be played on Monday and Tuesday of the next 2 weeks to the following dates. Games rescheduled for April 10th through the 11th will be played Saturday, April 15th. Games to be played for April 17th through the 18th will be played on April 22nd. The games will begin at 10 a.m. in the order of the existing schedule. This is being done because of the testing program in the schools. For boys 15 through 18, the pre-major registration is now being taken at the Trophies and Treasures. That's located at 906 West 1st Street here in Mount Pleasant. Well, Chick Fest, Camp County's annual salute to the chicken industry, takes place Saturday, April 29th in historic downtown Pittsburgh. It's a Main Street city. A visit to this restored downtown is a treat anytime, but more so during the festival. The fun begins at 8 in the morning with a 1-mile run, a tennis tournament, and a softball tournament. The action-packed day ends with a dance lasting until midnight. Pilgrim's Pride Corporation and the Camp County Chamber of Commerce are sponsors for this day of the Great Family Entertainment. It's a highlight of the day's activities. Well, one of the highlights will be including a chicken cooking contest with a prize money totaling $2,000. Other scheduled events are a 56-mile bicycle tour, a chicken eating contest, a 5K run, a tournament of excellence and reduced stress egg, which involves teams relaying eggs and other tests of athletic skills, kids games, a chicken little contest, a health fair, a Pittsburgh Pride Poultry Museum, and an antique car display, and so much more during the Chick Fest. All applications for information or about the Chick Fest may be obtained for the Camp County Chamber of Commerce. That's located at 202 Jefferson Street in Pittsburgh, or you can phone them at 214-856-5771. Well, tonight we begin a series of interviews about the upcoming Wildflower Trails. That will be held in Hughes Springs, Linden, and Avenger. And here's some of the first set of those interviews.
Sam, tell us, how are you involved in Wildflower Trails?
Well, this is our 4th year as our church to sponsor the Passion Play that we have in our church auditorium. It'll be held on Thursday, Friday, and Sunday nights at 8 o'clock, and we'll have a matinee on Sunday at 5. The Passion Play tells the story and life of Christ, beginning with his birth, and we have a cast of close to 100 who are involved in our church and our community every year, including this Passion Play on.
Okay. Now, also here in town, you have a position at the church here. Tell us about that.
Yes, I'm the Minister of Music and Education at First Baptist Church of Hughes Springs.
All right, can you give us a little more detail about the passion play? Do you use local people involved?
Yes. Most of the cast is made up by church members, but we have some folks who come from Mount Pleasant, and also other churches in our area are volunteered and are participating with us this year in the play. And so with about the 100 folks we have involved, we have a lot of involvement in our community.
All right, let me ask you now, what are the dates and times that the passion play is going to be performed?
Okay, the dates are April the 27th, 28th, and 30th. And that's Thursday, Friday, and Sunday at 8 o'clock. There is no admission charge. It is free. And then at Sunday we'll have a matinee at 5 o'clock also.
All right, where will this be located again?
In our church auditorium, First Baptist Church. It's right across from Spring Park, where all the activities for the wildflower trails will be held.
We're talking now with George Fight. And George, how are you involved in wildflower trails here in Heath Springs?
Well, I'm the local chairman as well as the area chairman this year for the trails. We've got an awful lot of things planned. I'm sure you know that this is our 18th year for wildflower trails, and we're looking for a bigger and better turnout this year than in years past.
Okay. Can you tell us, before we talk about this year, tell us how last year turned out? What kind of crowds did you have?
Last year was excellent. Through the Texas Highway Department, we metered traffic, and we had approximately 30,000 vehicles come through during that weekend. The weather was perfect. The flowers were in, great bloom, and we anticipate the same this year. Hopefully the weather and the flowers will cooperate with us.
All right, can you just briefly outline some of the major activities that will be taking place?
This year we have things planned for every age group. We've got special children's activities taking place on Friday with a teen dance, Friday night for our high school and junior high kids. Saturday we've got activities in the park for the kids, pig scramble, street dance for adults Saturday night, crafters, vendors coming in. We've got approximately 60 with people coming from England, Oregon, Florida, Colorado, a lot of different places that have already made reservations and reserved booth spaces.
So we're going to have kind of an international flair this year then.
We hope to. The response that we've had so far has been outstanding.
Okay. Now, since you are also kind of the head person in Heath Springs, what are some of the things you look forward to here in Heath Springs?
Well, one of the biggest things we like to do is to show off our community with what we have available with the natural setting, the rural setting. A lot of people from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, other places, always come year after year due to the fact that it's more of a relaxed atmosphere, and they can drive and enjoy the countryside of life.
Okay, now I think we're standing in front of something new that's been added here in the park. Can you tell us a little bit about the stage?
Sure. We've got an amphitheater built this year where we're going to have entertainment in the park. We're going to have gospel singing in the park. We're going to have just a multitude of things this year to offer the people coming to the trails.
Well, we're talking now with Betsy Schindler. And Betsy, how are you involved in wildflower trails in Heath Springs?
I'm working with publicity, as I have for several years here, and we're just really excited this year. We've got lots of people already working, beautifying. We've planted several $1,000s worth of wildflower seeds here recently, and our town is really gearing up to welcome everybody to wildflower trails again.
What's some of the things that you look forward to, some of the activities?
Oh, I think a big activity this year is going to be our dance, our street dance on Saturday night. We have a big band coming in, and of course that's free. We have lots of other free activities to show our hospitality here in Heath Springs. We have lots of activities that aren't free, but it's going to be a wonderful weekend for everybody who comes, we hope.
Okay, Betsy, let me ask you now, since you're in charge of publicity, what kind of reaction do you get from people that come in, say, from the Metroplex or different places? What kind of reaction do they give to Heath Springs?
They seem to be just tickled to come out and see how country people live, and we just have people. Our local motel is always filled up many months in advance with people from Dallas and Houston and all over the country. We've had people writing in from England already this year, and so people seem to love it as we do here at home.
Okay. One other question let me ask you also. I think we want to talk about the gospel singing this year.
Okay. This year, this is going to be right here on a new stage that was built by local boys here with Wildflower Trails money. And we think it's going to be really special here in the park with all the other activities going on, and we have churches from all over the area participating, and just great gospel singing, really inspirational. And we want to welcome everybody to that. That's going to be on Sunday afternoon, the last weekend in April.
Okay, Betsy, now if people want more information from you about Wildflower Trails, what's the phone number, or how can they get in touch with you?
Okay, they should call 639-2351 here in Hugh Springs. It's the Hugh Springs Chamber of Commerce office. And we'll send brochures. We have this new brochure, and we'll send them a brochure and give them any information that we can.
Okay, Betsy, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.
And I'm Mike Ross reporting for Channel 54 News.
Well, legislation requiring motorcycle riders to wear helmets and giving skaters the right to roller skate on public streets was presented at a public hearing before the House Transportation Committee. Both groups gathered at the committee hearing to state their respective cases, thus making for a less than typical day at the state capitol. A large group of bikers turned out in opposition to the HB 320 by Mike McKinney of Centerville, which requires motorcycles to wear helmets. Bikers believe that there is no proof that wearing helmets reduces injuries, and they insist helmets don't prevent accidents. Supporters of the bill argue that statistics show an unhelmeted rider is more likely to be killed in an accident, since head injuries are 3 to 6 times more frequent than those suffered by a helmeted rider. Again, the skaters gathered at the hearing also in support of the HB 1412 by Deborah Danberg of Houston. The bill would allow skaters to have not only the right to the road, but the same responsibilities as other vehicles. In Houston, skating is not just a recreation, but increasing numbers of people are commuting to work or school by skate. Testimony revealed that skating is a viable form of transportation in Houston. Well, the Martha Laird chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution will meet at 2:30 April 8th in the hospitality room of the First National Bank in Hugh Springs. Speaker will be Colonel Ronald Jacobs from the Red River Army Depot in Texarkana. Colonel Jacobs' subject will be national defense. Well, the Special Olympics were held this week here in Mount Pleasant. Let's take a look at some of the opening ceremonies now.
Those at the back, would y'all come on up front? I'm sorry our band didn't arrive on time, but we didn't want to get too far behind schedule. So we'll start off with introducing some of our guests. First, we'll start with Alfred Flanagan, our county judge. County judge, would you like to turn around and wave? Then we have J.W. Carroll, who's Commissioner of Precinct number 3. Mike Price, who's Precinct number 1 Commissioner. And Mike Fields is Precinct number 2 Commissioner. Then we let me win. But if I cannot win, let me be praised. Let's get it.
A Pittsburgh resident escaped serious injury in a two-vehicle accident this week. And we'll tell you more about it when we return with Channel 54 News.
Due to the depressed economy of the Dangerfield, Lone Star, and Hugh Springs area, Wildwood Furniture in Dangerfield must raise cash and make room for incoming merchandise. Name brands released include Broyhill, Lane, Circa, and many more. During the sale, you'll find three-piece sectional with recliners, only $1,097. Queen Anne tables, $97. Over 75 recliners to choose from, including the Action Recliner by Lane, starting as low as $199. Starter bedding as low as 149%. All sales final. Hurry, sale ends Saturday at Wildwood Furniture in the Jones Shopping Center in Dangerfield.
A Pittsburgh woman escaped serious injury this week in a two-vehicle accident. According to the Department of Public Safety, James Baird of Talco was driving a dump truck south on Farm to Market Road 1735 when a car driven by Donna Pickard of Pittsburgh pulled out in front of him. The truck struck the car on the left rear side, knocking off one wheel and causing heavy damage to the car. The truck also received damage to the left front. Mrs. Pickard was taken to the Cottis County Memorial Hospital, where at last report she had received minor injuries. Well, on April 28th, the Region 8 Education Service Center and the Northeast Texas Community College will co-sponsor Partners for Positive Solutions. It's a substance abuse symposium at the Northeast Texas Community College taking place from 8 a.m. until 3:15 in the afternoon. Workshops include drug testing in the workplace and at school, an educator's nightmare, the irresponsible child, and signs and symptoms of the adolescent substance abuse. The Honorable Jim Chapman, U.S. Congressman, will represent the keynote address. The registration fee is $10 per person. If you'd like further information, you can contact Patty Flory at the Region 8 Education Service Center. Their telephone number 572-8552, or Deborah Cody at the Northeast Texas Community College at 572-1911. Now, the First Assembly of God will have their revival April 9th through the 13th. That's the Musical Vans, the group there. It's taking place nightly at 7 o'clock in the evening. And, of course, it is located at 1734 Farm to Market Road here in Mount Pleasant. Recently, students of the P.E. Wallace were honored for their literary achievement.
April the 1st, we had 43 students and 10 sponsors to represent P.E. Wallace in the UIL District Academic Competition at North Lamar Independent School District at the Bailey Middle School. Here with me now, one of the winning students, Beth Means, and her sponsor, Mrs. Sarah Shelton. Beth won second place in the spelling competition. As we go through this, we will give you the winners, the positions that they won, and the sponsor as we talk. The next person that we have, and we do have some ribbons. All of the students were given ribbons for their positions, and if they were participants, they also received participating ribbons for their activity in the contest. All of our sponsors and students have worked extremely hard this year trying to prepare for this competition. We did participate in 12 different events. Next year, the competition will be expanded. There will be a total of 23 events that we will be participating in. Among those activities that we participated in this past week was oral reading for 6th grade, oral reading 7th grade, and oral reading 8th grade. We participated in ready writing for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. We participated in spelling for grades 6, 7, and 8. We participated in number sense for grades 6, 7, and 8. Some of the added competition for next year will be listening skills for 6th grade students, dictionary skills for all 3 grade levels, 6, 7, and 8. Science will be added for grades 7 and 8. Music memory will be added for 6th grade students, and calculator skills will be added for grades 6, 7, and 8 as well. Now we're going to ask our oral reading winners to come forward, and their sponsor, Mrs. Fanny Hebner. Our 6th grade winners, first place was Courtney Van Meter, 3rd place was Jeannie Ship, and 4th place was Chrissy Kent. These are our 6th grade oral reading winners. For 7th grade, Jessica Stokes, raise your hand, Jessica, so that they can see you, was first place winner. And for 8th grade, Kelly Peters was the first place winner. Most of the students received their ribbons the day of the contest, but I have some ribbons to present to these oral reading persons at this time, and I'm going to give those to Mrs. Hebner, their sponsor, and let Mrs. Hebner make the presentation for first place at this time. Mrs. Hebner.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. It's with great pride that I announce that due to the wrong scoring or the announcement of the order of the winners, that two of our contestants received the wrong place. And the right place, the one they rightfully will assume at this moment, it gives me great pride to present to Kelly Peters, who won first place in UIL oral reading for 8th grade. Congratulations, Kelly. That's not the right one. Another mistake made on that day in announcing the order of winners was made with Courtney Van Meter, who represented the 6th grade as UIL oral readers. Courtney was awarded 2nd place, and she rightfully had a 1st place ribbon. And it's with pride that I issue this to her now. Congratulations, Courtney. 4th place winner goes in the 6th grade. I'm very proud of the 6th grade team. They're so strong. Goes to another 6th grader, and this is Chrissy Kent. Congratulations, Chrissy. 3rd place winner in 6th grade. I'm very proud to present to you this time the 3rd place winner, and Mrs. Jenny Schmidt. Congratulations, Jenny. Again, I'm proud to present to our 7th grade winner of 1st place. This means that our oral readers brought back 3 first place positions in this contest. Jessica Stokes. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Hebner and contestant. The next person that we have, the sponsor, was ready writing for 6th grade. We're going to ask the sponsor, Mrs. Bobby Calhoun, and her participants to come forward. Amanda Simpson, raise your hand, Amanda, won 3rd place in 6th grade ready writing. And correction, Amanda Simpson won 6th place in ready writing, and Christy Cabot won 3rd place in ready writing. So raise your hand, and their sponsor was Mrs. Bobby Calhoun. Thank you, Mrs. Calhoun. Ready writing for 7th grade. Our sponsor for 7th grade ready writing is Mrs. Jeanette Sykes. Winning 1st place was Rachel McKellar. Rachel. And winning 6th place was Amanda Kirkham. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Sykes. Ready writing for 8th grade. We have a young man coming in here, and we're proud of these young men. Mrs. Shaw, Mrs. Randa Shaw, is the sponsor of 8th grade ready writing. Winning 2nd place was Natalie Crump, and 3rd place was Michael Mars. And I'm going to shake hands with Michael Mars here. Okay, Michael, thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Shaw. 7th grade spelling. One of our students that participated and won a position is not here today, but our sponsor is Mrs. Verma Turner. Nancy Sarmiento, who is not present, won 3rd place in the spelling, and 4th place winner was Kathleen McCulloch. Thank you, Ms. Turner. And Kathleen. 8th grade spelling. Our 8th grade spelling sponsor is Mrs. Peggy Capehart. Here again, we have another young man. If you notice there, we have a lot of young ladies participating and not as many young men, but we're going to try to change that next year and have a lot of young men that will be coming up here for these places and these positions. 3rd place winner was Jennifer Williams in 8th grade spelling, Jennifer, and 6th place was Blake Charlotte. Thank you, Ms. Capehart. We have another person that isn't here today along with the sponsor. This is for 8th grade number sense. Mrs. Lydia Leonberg is our sponsor for 8th grade number since, and winning second place in that contest was Marcy Holman. We feel that all of our youngsters have done a real fine job, along with the sponsors of those events. It takes a lot of long, hard hours to work preparing for these contests. We are extremely proud of our academic success. We often hear about the different extracurricular activities that are taking place, and sometimes people get ideas that we're not concentrating on our academics, which we are. And we're real proud of the academic success of our student body, and this is just an idea to show you how our students perform. And again, we're real proud of our sponsors and the students. We appreciate having the opportunity for this news and press conference today, and thank you again, students and sponsors.
Well, there'll be a household shower for Kip and Cindy Davis. It's being held to replace as many items as possible that were lost in their house fire. That's taking place at the Delwood Baptist Church here in Mount Pleasant, April 9th at 2 in the afternoon. And if you'd like to help, please call them at 572-0379. Now, the State Department of Highways and Public Transportation has recently announced the environmental and public involvement requirements have been met for relocation of the intersection of Loop 238, which is Rush Street, with U.S. Highway 271 Career Boulevard in Pittsburgh, according to L.L. Jester, Jr., the district engineer in Atlanta. Proposed plans call for the relocation of the intersection about 500 feet north of the existing intersection of U.S. 271. The proposed facility will have a roadway width of 48 feet plus curb and gutter, allowing for four 12-foot traffic lanes. Jester also said that he has advised Mount Pleasant supervising resident engineer Earl Richardson to proceed with the development of this project. He said since social, economic, and environmental effects on the location and design have been thoroughly studied, the city of Pittsburgh is now able to fulfill its obligation of obtaining the required right-of-way for the project. He also added that they hope to have it ready to let to contract sometime this year. Well, tonight we close with a band concert held recently here at the Mount Pleasant High School. Before we do that, however, we'd like to remind you of the movie tonight, sponsored by Winn-Dixie. It's The Man Who Knew Too Much, starring Peter Lorre. So stay tuned for that, and thank you for joining us for Channel 54 News. I'm Leo James. Good night. And you're a junior. Hi, fellas. Wastewater treatment plant, pumping station, and transmission lines in the city of Pittsburgh that will take the treated water from Lake Bob Salmon. Approval of the grant will provide residential and industrial users with a dependable water supply, particularly in the summer months when supplies have been scarce for the past 4 years. Local businesses such as Pilgrim's Pride Corporation would benefit from the additional capacity, and company officials estimated that as many as 550 new jobs may result from that assistance. The senator stated that the hard work and dedication of local officials and business leaders was crucial to obtaining that grant. Well, tonight we continue a series of interviews about the upcoming Wildflower Trails that will be held, of course, in Hughes Springs, Linden, and Avenger. And here are the next set of interviews.
We're back here beautiful downtown Hughes Springs with Debbie Hall. And Debbie, you are the entertainment director for Wildflower Trails. Tell us about it.
Well, this year we've lined up some wonderful entertainment, local talent, as well as the surrounding areas. We have people here from Hughes Springs, Melvin Stone and his wife, Les Adams, Connie Cockrell, coming back. She's a resident that's moved away. We have some wonderful people. We have a comedian coming from Longview. We have Square Dancing and Clogging that will be here. All sorts of wonderful entertainment, non-stop, all day, Friday and Saturday. Friday is Western Day. Everybody will be dressed up in Western attire and sitting around listening to some good country music. Other kinds of music will be here. We have a parade Saturday morning. I believe it's 10 o'clock. And right after the parade, there'll be a drill team competition that a lot of people usually like to come out and listen, see the little girls compete in that.
All right, let me ask you, where will a good deal of the music entertainment take place at?
In the park. We're trying to center everything here in the park. The daytime entertainment will be on the bandstand stage thing that's been built lately here in the Spring Park.
All right, let me ask you, Debbie, if somebody wants to come and be on the program just to sing or perform or whatever, is it still too late, or can they be on the program?
We still have a few openings left. We're just filling up fast, and they can call me at 639-3266, and I'll be more than happy to schedule a good entertainer. There's some spots open on Friday, and there's some open on Saturday evening. Pretty much Saturday morning's filled, but Saturday evening is still open, and scattered throughout the day Friday, we have some spots open.
Have you been involved with Wildflower Trails how long now?
This is my first year to be on the committee, and I'm excited. I've attended Wildflower Trails forever, but this is my first year, and I'm excited and honored to be a part of it, and hoping that people will come out and see it, and maybe they'll ask me back next year.
All right. Well, I think they will. All they have to do is come down here and look at the beauty of East Texas and some of these wildflower trails, and I tell you what, I think they'll enjoy it. Fred, how are you involved in Wildflower Trails here in Linden?
I'm the chairperson of the 5K race that we have each year. This is our 12th annual 5K, and we're planning to have a large turnout for this again as usual this year.
All right. Where does this course consist of?
We begin on North Main Street. We run out approximately 1.5 miles to Highway 8 and run from Highway 8 into Highway 11, and it just makes a circular run. It's one of the more beautiful areas in the Linden and surrounding area.
Okay, Fred, are there age divisions in this race?
Yes, there are. We have several ages. Both men and women are divided into age groups. We have groups for 15 and under in the men's division, 16 to 22, ages 23 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59, and then 60 and over. And then we have 4 divisions for the women's run. We have those divided into age 21 and under, age 22 to 32, 33 to 43, and 44 and over. So we'll be giving large trophies for the overall winner in both the men's and the women's division.
What's been about the best time so far?
I don't have the exact figures on that at this point, but we've had some very good competitors in the past. Frank Trammell from Shreveport has run in our race several times, and he is a world-class runner.
Okay, and is it limited to the number of entries?
No. We'll probably have in the neighborhood of 100 runs, and as many as we can get, the more the merrier.
Okay, let me ask you one final question. Is it easier to run 5K or 5 miles? Which is easier in your opinion?
Oh, 5K. That's only 3.1 miles, so it's much easier to run that.
All right. We're talking now with Judy Lanier. And Judy, how are you involved in Wildflower Trails here in Linden?
Well, I'm the co-director for the Sock Hop, and I'm also on the steering committee.
All right, and tell us kind of what takes place at the Sock Hop.
Oh, well, last year we had a dance contest and a hula hoop contest, and everyone dressed in the 50s, and it was just a lot of fun.
All right, and where will this event take place at?
At the American Legion Hall here in Linden.
Okay, and will there be a cost?
$5 cover charge per person.
Okay. And who's going to be the dance band this year?
Oh, we have a DJ this year, and that was Marlon Sullivan last year, and I'm sure it'll be the same one this year.
All right, and the event now takes place again on the day and time?
It will be on the Friday night of Wildflower Trails, and it'll begin about 7 o'clock.
Okay. What kind of turnout did you have last year?
We had a big turnout, and we expect more this year even.
Okay, if people want more information and everything, how can they get in touch with you?
They can call me at 756-5586 or Gina Sullivan with Winston Sullivan Builders.
Okay, one other thing that you mentioned, you're on the steering committee. What kind of your duties on that?
Oh, we just get together and we decide what will be best for the Wildflower Trails, what we need to cut and what we need to add and keep on.
Okay. How does transportation affect your daily life? If you can express your answer well in writing and you're a junior or a senior high school, you can win a cash award. To celebrate its 75th anniversary, the American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials is sponsoring an essay contest. The writer of the top national essay will win $1,000 in a trip to Atlanta, Georgia. And that's in October. That's the request of the association's annual conference. 2 national runners-up will receive $750 awards. Raymond Stoltz, the engineer and director of the Highway Department in Austin, said that they're kicking off the competition in Texas through local contests coordinated by the Highway District. He also stated that each district will select 2 winners from local high schools who will compete for state awards. He also added that the writer of the first-place essay for Texas will win $500, donated by the Texas Good Roads Transportation Association. The group will also honor 2 state runners-up with $250 awards. Contest rules specify that essays be 600 to 1,000 words, depending on the ASCO employees and the officials and relatives of contest judges are not eligible. Justice said essays will be judged on how well they communicate the importance of transportation in America. The deadline for selection of winners from each high school is mid-May. A district winner will be selected from the school winners by June 1st and then compete at the state level. Well, driver education applications are available in Mrs. Price's office. The deadline for those is April 21st, so if you're planning on getting those, not much time left for that. Cost is $130. Stewart Blood Bank will be on the high school campus April 20th from 8 in the morning until 3 o'clock. That's at the Mount Pleasant Independent School District. Students 18 or over are eligible to donate. If you are 17 and wish to donate, there is a permission form that must be signed by a parent before you can donate. Of course, I gave through the Great Vein T-shirts will be given to those who donate. Well, after Saturday night's bond election for the Northeast Texas Community College, Channel 54 was on hand to get the results and to talk with Mike Bruner, the college president, and get his reaction.
Gordon, here are the final unofficial totals through all of the precincts reporting, and the election has lost, in fact, it lost all of the boxes in all of the counties with the exception of the absentee vote. Totals are as follows. In proposition number 1, in favor 2,004, and against 4,323. Proposition 2, 2,084 in favor, 4,320 against. Proposition number 3, 1,956 in favor, 4,314 opposed. And Proposition 4, 1,606 in favor, 4647 against. By counties, Titus County voted in Proposition 1, 842 in favor, 2,077 against. In Camp County, it was 356 in favor of Proposition 1, 740 opposed. And in Morris County, it was 352 in favor of Proposition 1, 1,305 opposed. And that's pretty much how it went throughout the entire region as far as all of the propositions were concerned.
Mr. Evansberger, we thank you very much for these results.
Thank you.
Welcome to Channel 54's election results here. Mr. Bob Palmer, editor and publisher of the Daily Tribune. Bob, I also want to say congratulations on your award, the Texas AP Award, and I know you're real proud of that, and you work real hard, and I would like for you to say a few words and then introduce your guest.
Thank you, Gordon. Tonight we have Northeast Texas Community College President Mike Bruner. Come on in, Mike. What you think, guy?
Well, I think it's been a long night. Maybe not long enough, but we now have all the votes in, and we kind of know where we stand. The election has not been a long election, but it has been an election when we've tried to get to the people. Before I go into some of the results, I would like to take just a moment to thank those individuals who went to the polls today to vote in favor of the college, and thank all those individuals that took time out to consider the issues. The obvious thing to me at this point is that we had an election with 4 propositions that were difficult to understand. We're talking about some issues that were difficult from the standpoint of how to lay them out. When we looked at the propositions, we had confusion throughout the election about Proposition 1. We had confusion throughout the election about the availability of a selection for the voter. I'll be telling the news media throughout the three-county area that as a college district, as a college president, we continue to have faith in the people of the three-county area. We firmly feel that the people of the three-county area are in support of this college. I'll have to go back to the survey that we ran in the very beginning, and it told us that we have an 85% approval rating in the three-county area. I think this election tells us, though, that the people of the three-county area are not ready for new taxes. The people of the three-county area are not receptive to the college developing further at this time. Does not tell me, however, that they're not receptive to the college developing further at all. I think that it's very important that we take this election to heart, that we continue to strive to serve the people of the three-county area. What I'll be doing as the president of the Northeast Texas Community College is I'll be asking our people to work just as hard now as we have before. I'll also be asking the people of three counties, however, to accept a community college that's going to be a little bit smaller than we've had in the past, because we won't be able to serve the number of students that we are even presently serving. This means that we're going to have to make some changes. We're going to have to do some things to get our budget in line. As I stated throughout the election, this year we've budgeted about $200,000 of our reserves to operate. Those situations are going to have to be addressed, and they're going to have to be addressed starting Monday morning. We naturally did not expect this kind of outcome, but we understand the voice of the people. We hear the people, and we will respond appropriately. I will state that as I've told the people through the election period, Northeast Texas Community College came into this area to build a quality institution. This institution stands for quality, and it will continue to stand for quality. No, we will not be able to serve the numbers that we'd like to serve. We will not be able to do some of the things we'd like to do. However, what we do will be first class, and what we do will be quality all the way. And that will continue throughout the life of this institution, and I hope the people will believe that as we go forward in the months and years to come.
Still to come on Channel 54 News tonight, Norman Rhodes concludes his series tonight on the care of older dogs, and our weekly Texas Employment Commission report, and much more news as Channel 54 News continues. Stay with us.
Wildwood Furniture is your place for best selection and price range for new furniture. Look at this beautiful selection from Corsair. This set contains chair, sofa, love seat, and ottoman. Perfect for any living room or den. Also from Corsair, this set with wedge seat, sofa queen, sleeper, and love seat recliner. And for tables, choose from Ashley's cocktail, sofa, and end tables. So much more to see and choose from at Wildwood Furniture, Jones Shopping Center in Dangerfield.
Well, April 16th through the 22nd has been designated as National Assault Awareness Week. In conjunction with this, Family Haven Crisis Center located in Paris will be holding a volunteer training beginning April 17th. The training will certify volunteers to work with the victims of sexual assault and sexual abuse. The training sessions will be held from 6 to 9 in the evening, weeknights, of course, for 2 consecutive weeks, and that will include representatives from the Family Haven staff, area hospitals, law enforcement agencies, and state agency, as well as private counselors. Persons interested in being certified to work with victims of sexual assault can sign up by calling 1-800-44-HAVEN. That's 1-800-44-HAVEN. A $10 fee is required for a training manual. Family Haven serves crime victims from a 6-county area, including Lamar, Delta, Hopkins, Titus, Red River, and Franklin. And if you need more information, that number is 1-800-44-HAVEN. Well, Norman Rhodes now concludes his series tonight in the care of older dogs.
Another question we want to talk about with older dogs is the loss of their sight and hearing. What can you tell us about that?
Well, they all have in their aging process has a deterioration of their hearing and a deterioration of their sight. You should consult your veterinarian if you have a noticeable loss of hearing or sight, and you may be able to do something for it. Now, I have at home a poodle that's about 10 years old, and she's been totally blind for the last 2 years. She has cataract. If I had finances enough, I could have cataracts removed, but my finances are not that much because it costs $200 or $300 to have a cataract removed.
Okay. Another thing, too, we want to talk about, this is something I think a lot of people don't think about, but dogs can get diseases of the mouth and gums as well as humans, and it's something that we don't think about in dogs, but that can be a problem for an older dog.
Yes, it can. They build up a tartar on their teeth. Now, you can clean them yourself, but if you clean them, sometimes you leave them, the teeth rough, and that's worse, or you might even cut the gums, and that gives infection a chance to get in. The veterinarians have a process of cleaning teeth, which is, I don't know exactly what it is, but I think it's done by air pressure.
All right, let me ask you, there's supposedly several commercial products on the market that they advertise that if your dog chews this, it will help keep his teeth clean. Do those products work?
To a point, yes. I think the dry food helps a whole lot. I feed dry food all the time. I say all the time. I'll give them a weenie or something like that every once in a while.
little treat there.
Yeah. They all like treats of one kind or another. They have these bones, so-called, that they sell for treats. We make our own using cornmeal and I don't know what all, because my wife makes it, and I don't know what all she got in it.
A hush puppy, maybe, kind of.
Something like, other than it's a hard.
Okay. Well, I've known some people that made some hard hush puppies, but we're not here to talk about that. Just a couple more questions we want to ask you, Norman. Of course, again, something else I think a lot of people neglect to do, and that's take their dog to see the veterinarian, not just when he's sick, but just as a regular checkup. Now, I would assume with an older dog that he probably needs maybe an extra trip to the vet. Is that right?
Normally they should have probably 2 a year when they're seemingly healthy. They're like people. We may seem to be healthy and our insides may be eat up. And your dogs can be the same way. So you should take them in twice a year.
All right. One final question, Norman, we want to ask you. We've heard the old saying about that you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but one of the things you wanted to talk about was training older dogs. Talk a little bit about that.
An older dog can be trained. It takes a little more time and patience, and you're not as strenuous with them as you are a young dog because you're not getting them ready to put in the show circuit. But an older dog will respond to training if you are patient. You don't scold a dog. If you give him a command, and he should have one-word commands, either come, sit, or stay, and then he may not do it just right. But then you praise him anyway. You have 3 things. There's a command, correction, and praise. Now, if you do not follow that, if you raise your voice and scold him, he's not going to do so good. It's just like training kids. If you holler at them, they're not going to do as good as if you have a soft voice. And it takes much longer to train an older dog, and I find different breeds of dogs take different lengths of time in training. Now, hound dogs seem to be harder to train because they are bred to get out in the field and work and have some sense of their own as to what to do. And we as humans sometimes don't realize that they got that much sense. And they've always told me that you got to be smarter than the dog is to train.
I guess that's why I've never been able to train one. Well, listen, Norman, I want to thank you for taking time out to talk to us about the care of older dogs, and I know in the near future you'll be coming back with some other different subjects on the care of dogs, and we want to say thank you. And I'm Mike Ross reporting for Channel 54 News.
April 15th from 8 a.m. until 4 in the afternoon is the date for the 2nd annual Visions for the Future. It's a workshop for exploring education and career choices for the visually impaired. A workshop is structured for parents of visually impaired students from 0 to 21 years of age, professionals, and students from age 12 to 21. And the Texas Senior High School in Texarkana, Texas, will be the host for this year's workshop. Sponsors of the workshop include the Arkansas Division Services for the Blind, the Project Parent Support Deaf and Blind Outreach Texas School for the Blind, Region 8 Education Service Center, Texas Independent School District, and Texas Commission for the Blind. Of course, if you'd like more information, you can contact Pamela King, the consultant for the visually impaired, at the Region 8 Education Service Center by writing P.O. Box 1894 in Mount Pleasant or calling 214-572-8551 for additional information. Well, now it's time for our weekly Texas Employment Commission report with Darlene Crooks.
Hello, I'm Darlene Crooks with the Texas Employment Commission office located at 1902 West Ferguson Road here in Mount Pleasant. The following is our job listings that are available for job possibilities at this time. Wood machinist, the salary is $6 an hour up, depending on experience. They do prefer someone that has at least 24 months experience in the supervisory field, and the job is in the Pittsburgh area. Auto mechanic, the salary depends on experience with at least 24 months experience, and they must have their own tools, and it would be various locations. Boat mechanic, the salary depends on experience, and they prefer someone with experience with inboard and outboard motor experience. Registered nurse, $11.80 an hour, and you must have to be registered in the state of Texas and can work in all areas of the medical field. Prison guard, $12.18 a month. They are willing to train, must have either a high school education or a GED, and the jobs are statewide. Military trainee, $6.20 a month up, depending on experience that you would have going into these categories. They are willing to train, but you would either have to be a high school graduate or be a high school senior at the time of entry. Fast food worker, salary depends on experience, 3 months work experience preferred, and it would be working in the Mount Pleasant area. Licensed vocational nurse, the salary depends on experience, and it must be licensed in the state of Texas, and it would be working in Mount Pleasant. Cook, $3.50 an hour with at least 6 months actual working experience, and we have various locations on that possibility. Salad maker, $3.35 an hour with at least 3 months experience, and would be working here in Mount Pleasant. Cashier, $3.35 an hour with at least 3 months experience, and we have various locations. Living companion, $150 a week, and you must furnish references, and it would be in the Mount Pleasant area. Census enumerator, $5.50 an hour, and it is a temporary job, but it would be working in the Mount Pleasant area. Waiter waitress, $2.01 an hour plus tip, with at least 3 months actual work experience, and we have various locations in the Mount Pleasant area. Our job openings do change throughout the day, so we encourage you to come by our office and fill out a work application. And when you do fill out the application, please bring with you your proper documentation, such as your driver's license and your paper Social Security card. We do try to get in contact with you when we have an opening that would come in. If an employer contacts our office, you can place a job order, and those orders match your skills, and we'll either drop your card in the mail or we will call you by telephone. Any employer listening that would like to use our services should call us at 572-9841 and place a job order. Thank you.
All right, that's it for tonight's news. We'd like you to stay tuned for tonight's movie. It's an excellent drama entitled Suddenly, starring Old Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra, movie from 1954. For Channel 54 News tonight, I'm Leo Jones. Good night.